Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. Welcome back to the most listened to program in all of the Sand Hills. It is Mornings with the Leader Man. I am Steve Leader Adams.
And I'm Matt Horsey, the Leader Man's scruffy sidekick. Good morning.
Don't forget, of course, we are being seen around the world on a live video stream. That's available to you right now at talk973.com. Top middle of the page is the link that will get you there. If you're on your mobile device, fire up your YouTube app and put Mornings with the Leader Man, all one word, into the search parameters. If you're just looking at audio on your mobile device, tune in, iTunes, any other platform will usually play us also. Just put WEEB in the search. Save it to your favorite file so you don't have to go through all that trouble the next time. Or you can get it off of our website at talk973.com, top right-hand corner of every page. There's an icon that says Listen Live. Tap that once and you're listening live that quick. Going to be partly cloudy today. Scattered thunderstorms possible this afternoon. High of 91. The storms will be building in from the south, so we might see some before it's all said and done. But hopefully the dew points will be down a little bit this afternoon like they were yesterday, which made things a little more tolerable. Not heavily tolerable, but better. I always like better. Then for tonight, a low of 674. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, thunderstorms likely. The weekend's going to be kind of back into the soup stuff, back into the 70s on the dew points. 89 for a high, heat index 95, same for Sunday. Chance of thunderstorms throughout the period. And for Monday, more of the same, high of 86. But when we get to Tuesday and Wednesday, we get a couple of days there where our dew points drop back down to more comfortable levels. Lower 60s right now, the models are showing. We'll hope they hold up. But still, it's summer. Chance of thunderstorms each day, but not as great a chance as we've been experiencing. Right now, around the Sand Hills, winds are calm, visibility 10 statute miles, pressure is 2994. Dew point at a sticky 72, humidity 100%. It's sunny 72 right now. Here at Talk 97.3 FM and 990 AM and 104.1 FM WEEB. All righty, let's move right to our sound bites this morning. Let's see. What do you do with it? All right, there it is. Okay. Go to the top, Steve. There you go. All right. Crocs, the shoes that Matt strut in here every day with. He just loves those things. He thinks they look manly on him. How many pair you have now?
I have 6? One for each day.
So he has 7 pair. Well, they're closing their last manufacturing plant facility soon. I guess they're going to make them overseas or something. But somehow...
Crikey, look at that crook!
Somehow they just are not going to go out of business.
Get ready for the latest from Crocs.
Wait a minute, aren't they closing the factory?
They're not sandals, they're not clogs, and now you can get them in high heels.
And I heard the chief financial officer's leaving.
And they're not going anywhere.
Didn't you close 28 stores just last quarter?
They're not rubber, they're not plastic, they're colorful and fun.
Dude, what are you doing?
I have no idea. I wonder if Birkenstock is hiring.
You want the rest of my french fries?
Okay. And can you help me move back into my parents' house next weekend? Crocs! Get them while you can. It's a croc, all right.
Yes, and there's even now a show like Cops where the fashion police can nab the worst offenders. And it's Crocs.
Bad choice, bad choice. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when you're caught in those shoes?
Crocs is filmed in cooperation with the unfashionable men and women of America. All people wearing Crocs are presumed innocent until judged by the fashion police.
I got that email twice yesterday. One from, I believe her name was Holly, and then the next one was from Norma. It's a scam thing. And it said it appears that, and then it has parentheses so they can insert name. Appears that Steve, is your password. Well, Steve is not my password. It will possibly, we will possibly not know me, but you are probably wondering why you are getting this email, right? And it goes on and on about, you've been a bad boy, you've been looking at porn.
These things are out there, they're everywhere, and so many people fall for them.
Here, the punchline is, well, in my opinion, $1,600 is a really fair price for our little secret. You will make payment by Bitcoin. If you don't do this, search how to, if you don't know how to do this, search how to purchase Bitcoin in Google. I'm going to give you the account address to send it to.
I thought Bitcoin was down to nothing now. Didn't that fall to nothing?
No. And you've got 1 day to make payment. I've got unique pixel in this email at this moment. I know that you read this through this email message. If you don't get the Bitcoin, I will certainly send out your video recording to all your contacts, including relatives, colleagues, and so forth.
Brother.
I feel like writing back said, please do. They'd love hearing from me. You think you got a recording of me? Knock yourself out. Oh, man.
And folks, the things that pop up on your phones and I say this because, you know, a number of people, it doesn't matter how smart you are, they are really good. And so we'll get people bringing computers into the Super Geek because somebody got frightened and clicked on a link or called a number, and next thing you know, somebody's got stuff uploaded. Now, a friend of mine...
Yeah, they go on legit sites, look for weak spots, and embed viruses into legitimate clicks through JavaScript and things like that.
Yeah.
So you got to be careful and run your antivirus. And, of course, there's Windows Defender running on your computer unless you cut it off.
If you have a PC.
Yeah, and if you... what is the program? Oh, God. Where you can run Windows malicious software. MRT, that's what it is. You go to your run box and type in MRT and click on that, and that's a good tool to clean your hard drive off with. It's malicious software removal tool that Windows has built into Windows. And it's just MRT, and it'll pop up there, and you start it, and it'll do a full scan. It'll take a couple hours to do your whole hard drive, but it'll find it and kill it if it's on there.
And I think this is not a Trojan horse to get you to listen to WEEB some more. I don't get a dime out of that, by the way, but if you listen to the Tech Guy on Saturdays and or Sundays, you can learn a lot about security. He does a very good job of making it very comprehensible, and
well, he tries to keep it down to consumer level.
Consumer
when
level.
They talk, so that they're not talking in geek land; they're talking in Matt land. So
I don't get it.
Well, I guess it comes with your... I don't want to pick on the Army. There's too many good people in the Army.
Yeah. Glad you're finally learning.
They just had one bad exception. All right, back to our sound bites this morning. To a good news story. A courier service in Missouri saved an elderly couple from losing $15,000 in cash when they fell for a scam. The owner was suspicious after they got a call from Canada about a package that was going to New York City. So they contacted police, and the police looked into it and stopped the package from going through.
It wasn't from Moose Lake, Manitoba, was it?
I don't know, but here's the story here. I said...
When we looked up the address, it came up as an address in the Bronx, an apartment building, and this was supposed to be going to a business. And I went home, and it was bothering me, and I got a call around 5:30 from Sunset Hills Police Department asking if I could come up there, that the envelope was a scam.
The victim received a phone call, an urgent call, from an individual purporting to be a public defender out of New York, and gave them a long, convoluted story about their grandson being involved in an accident. People don't realize how much information is out there on the internet about all of us, and what information some of these people are able to glean about our ages and who we're associated with and our family members.
As a business, we have that moral obligation too, that, you know, we're in business to make money, but that's not the way we want to earn it.
So, obviously, there was the old scam of you've got a grandson in trouble. I'm the district attorney, and before I can help him out, I have to be paid, and you need to retain me because he's in serious trouble, maybe facing tens of years in prison.
Because that's what DAs do, is defend criminals.
No, this has come from a defense attorney, supposedly.
Yeah, and DA.
You need to retain my services. So they send a $15,000, retainer fee, thinking they're helping their grandson. And fortunately, this got stopped this time. But you know what? Wish I knew the rest of the story where they catch the guy pulling the scam and give him 50 years in prison. We start dealing out some harsh penalties for these scammers. Perhaps they'll stop or think twice about it.
How many years in prison?
50. Severe penalties.
Come on, Steve. It's not like the guy was using a plastic straw or something.
Well, this might have been the last 15,000 these people had in their account.
Well, okay, but
they're elderly. They have.
It wasn't destined to be stuck in the nose of a sea turtle.
Well, wait a minute. We just crossed the line. The first time today. Here we go. We went from scams to sea turtles. Plastic straws. Okay. But, yeah, I'd like to see some severe punishment handed out for that. When you pick on the defenseless, I got a real problem. Whether it be elderly, children, or animals. Somebody's got to stand up for them.
Which is what government's supposed to do, is protect, as we heard yesterday from Thomas Jefferson, protect the people.
So kudos to the courier service here for going the extra mile to saying, this just doesn't look right.
Yeah, that's
let me check this out. Meanwhile, let's see. Over in England, where the police are so polite over there. You call 911. 911, how may I help you today? And you call for a stupid reason, they're still polite with you.
They have Indian people running their 911?
That was my British accent.
Oh. Well, India was part of the Commonwealth. So.
Guy in England called police in the middle of the night recently because his wife wouldn't stop snoring.
Good morning, West Midlands Police. Matt speaking. How can I help?
Hello.
What's the issue, sir?
Yeah, that's my wife. She keeps snoring.
You're ringing because your wife keeps snoring?
Well, she's very disturbing me. I don't know what to do. I don't know what I should do. I don't know what I should do.
Well, there's not a lot we can do, sir. Maybe when your wife wakes up, then maybe in the week you can speak to her about going to the doctors and...
She sounds like a motorbike.
I will advise you, sir. This isn't a police matter, by the way. Okay.
Now, you tap her on the shoulder, wake her up, and ask her to turn over. And after she slaps you a couple of times, then you can go back to sleep. Right?
Well, depending on it, could be an indicator, stuff like narcolepsy or something. So if somebody's a really bad snorer, they ought to get a look-see by a doctor.
Most of the time it's when you're on your back, you do your snoring, right? I'm sure people can snore on their side, but I think it's pretty much when you're on your back.
Seems to be, because lots of times it's the soft palate, the back of your throat that starts flapping.
We know where it's at. We just got to get it to do it. Quit doing it. My father was a heavy snorer. And a friend of my father and him went to play golf somewhere up in the mountains, and they come back, and my father's friend looked at my mother and said, God bless you, woman.
When snoring is that bad and it's interfering, people are sleeping in separate rooms and stuff because of the snoring, you should go see a doctor. You can get that fixed.
Anyway, I know I snore a little bit when I was married, when I snored.
So you don't snore anymore?
No, not at all. The dogs never complained.
Never complained, time. Yeah.
But she'd just poke me in the shoulder, you know, and she says, can you turn over? And turn over.
Steve, turn over and give me your car.
Yeah, did that too. I need the house too for the divorce. Here, take it. Let me sleep. Can you sleep outside the grass? Sure. I'm going. 16-year-old girl. This is why my father didn't ever let me, quote, hang out. You know, if I wanted to go to the drugstore, I was allowed to go to the drugstore, but I had to come back home. I didn't get to hang out.
Yeah.
Because he says when you hang out with no purpose, then the only thing that happens is trouble. And a 16-year-old girl named Jordan broke 5 ribs and punctured a lung when her friends pushed her off a 60-foot bridge without warning, as they were all hanging out. They were there with friends to dive off the bridge, but Jordan changed her mind on the ledge and decided not to do it, but her friends helped her out and pushed her off. And on impact, she broke the 5 ribs and punctured her lung. She's lucky she didn't drown.
For sure.
60 feet may not sound like much, but when you're on the top of the 60 foot, it's a long ways down.
Sounds like a lot. Six stories high? That sounds like a lot.
Yeah, if you're not ready to and you're laying on your stomach, it's going to break ribs. She's lucky she didn't break her back. But, and it gives you a severe wedgie, too.
Yeah. Yeah, particularly
you'll be pulling swimsuit out of your wedgie for weeks.
Males, if you're going even 20 feet, it's a good idea to cross your ankles and squeeze your legs together so you don't get a slap where you don't want it. Water has the compressibility of concrete.
I was in Bermuda, and my little FKA wife at the time wanted to swim in this one little cove, and it had this high rock the kids were jumping off of. And it was pretty high. It was probably 50 feet. And, of course, she had to climb up there and jump off. Well, guess what? I had to do it too then. Didn't like it. Like I said, it's a very wedgie time, but I jumped in a way it didn't hurt. You know, you go in.
You didn't go do a belly flop.
No, feet first with the pointed foot, and
yeah,
go right in. But it sure gives you the wedgie. Oh, I didn't play the audio of the girl jumping. Here it is.
3. No, I won't go in. 2.
Well, she's saying no.
No, I just...
Ready?
Oh, that's so... Hey, you can hear it breaking from that distance.
Jeez.
That poof, cannonball sound. Yeah, it's like at the Olympics, you know, they're jumping
But they
off.
think they know it all at that age.
Yeah, at the Olympics, you can, just from the sound of the dive, you can tell which one's better or worse. Because when they hit that water and they go in just right, it's poof, just the slightest little noise and the least amount of water disturbed at the surface.
That's why the Olympic judges, diving judges, are all blind now.
Some guy bribed his young daughter with candy to sign a 30-year contract saying she would never attend Lollapalooza. The kid's only 5, but even she knows she's getting the better end of the deal. And she signed. Here's the signing ceremony.
All right, Bryn, here we have our agreed-upon contract that says you will never attend Lollapalooza, and it is a 30-year contract. And like we agreed on, you will receive 1 pack of Reese's peanut butter cups and a chocolate chip cookie. But okay. But to get that, you got to sign right there. You sign your name, please. All right. You got a deal? Shake?
Yeah.
Here's the thing, kid. You're under 18. It's a non-binding contract. You can still go.
Steve, stop undermining parenting. Remind me what Lollapalooza is.
I've never been to one. It's just a gathering of bands as far as I know.
Yeah. It's a band thing. Okay, yeah.
A woman in New York bought a dog. Why? You know, if you're into dog shows and things like that, and you just have to have papers and whatnot, I understand that. But if you're looking for a particular breed, if you look long enough, hard enough, in enough shelters, you'll find it. Or somebody surrendered it, or the owner died, or whatever, the breed ends up back at the shelter somehow. And you can find the dog without having to buy one from a puppy mill factory.
Well, they're not all puppy mills. You're not going to find...
No, they're not all puppies.
If you got a dog that can sell for $3,000, for example, you're not going to find that in a local
You're not going to
town.
get rich breeding dogs. I don't care what kind of dog it is. If you ever notice, if you ever going to buy one, they're always out there in some rat hole that the families put some pen out there out back, and the breeder is on what was the name of that Burt Reynolds movie where we went down the creek? Deliverance, yeah. Some backhole deliverance type setting to go get the dog. But a woman in New York bought a dog 2 years ago and signed an agreement to make monthly payments for it. If you got to make payments for it, it's too expensive for you. The price was $1,500, and with interest, she ended up paying more than $3,500. And now the lending company is threatening to repossess the dog, claiming that the loan was actually a lease. Because you got to remember, under the law, animals are treated as chattel. They say that she still owes them another $338 for her final payment. The company's name is Wags Lending, and there have been complaints about them online. Here's the lady.
We fell in love with him. The dog is a part of my family.
Dog.
He's not going anywhere, my Max. I had no idea it was a lease. They tell me, I hear of financing, it's a loan. It's wrong. You can't rip a dog out of somebody's family that's been a part of their family for 2+ years. I'm sorry, but you're not getting the dog back, nor are you getting this last payment. It's a scam.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, Fox and Friends had a strangely kind words for Kim Jong-un yesterday while they were showing some pictures released by North Korea. Seems that Kim took his wife to a pickle factory. Nothing says a romantic date or date night like touring a pickle factory.
That's an old line we've all used, isn't it?
This from Fox and Friends yesterday.
Quite the romantic. The North Korean dictator taking his wife on a tour of a fish pickling factory. State media releasing the photos to showcase what the rogue regime considers its economic strength. They did the same thing in 2014 when Kim visited a lubricant factory and when he visited a plant that makes potato starch. Let's look at your headlines. I'll send it back to you.
The softer side
Very
than the dictator.
Very romantic. A fish factory.
And the last couple of times you've seen him, it's been out with the people, talking manufacturing, not with the missiles.
And he's wearing a T-shirt and a belt. And is that?
Look at this guy.
Yeah. Normally we see him
like he's on vacation. Yeah, those come in packs of 3. Hanes.
I hardly think that was speaking complimentary of him. That's called mocking Steve.
197 years ago today in 1821, this state became the 24th state, the Show Me State, which is
Missouri.
What? Missouri. Are you saying the Yankees say Missouri? There's no A at the end.
No, Missourians say Missouri.
Missouri.
Steve, you ignorant slut.
Missouri.
Of all the screwed up ways to pronounce a state, that's certainly the biggest.
It's the birthplace of Samuel Clemens, whose pen name was
The Rock.
Mark Twain. And the home of both the Pony Express Museum and the world-famous St. Louis Gateway Arch.
Where is the arch?
St. Louis. 172 years ago today, in 1846, Congress chartered the Smithsonian Institute. 70 years ago, 1948, Candid Microphone, which you know better by its later title, Candid Camera, debuted on ABC. Let's see. Birthdays today.
Candid Microphone. I didn't know it started that way.
Bobby Hatfield of the Righteous Brothers, he's the one that's still not with us. Died in 2003.
He's lost that love and feeling.
Born on this day in 1940. Jimmy Dean, he was born in 28, died in 2010. Mr. Sausage himself, and Mr. Big John. Eddie Fisher, born in 1928 on this day. Ronnie Spector, from the Ronettes, 75 today. Riddick Bowe, the boxer, born on this day, he's 51 years old. And Rosanna Arquette's 59. Antonio Banderas is 58.
Oh.
I believe he's broke. It's just what I heard. Kylie Jenner, yeah, already an official. She might as well just go topless all the time. She does anyway. She's 21. All right, 7:55. Things we need to know so we don't sound stupid today. Some changes with the Academy Awards. They now promise it'll be no more than 3 hours on the show. They're moving some awards into commercial breaks and adopting a new category devoted to popular films. The 2019 Oscars will be held on February 24th, but the following year it'll be moved up even more to February 9th. Eric Trump's wife, Laura, is leading a campaign to ban dog racing in Florida. If you keep keeping score at home, Macaulay Culkin, Mr. Home Alone, says that he's been asked to guest star on The Big Bang Theory 3 times and turned him down each time. Richard Gere, at the age of 69, decided he's going to be a dad again. Yes.
Yeah, because that's thinking of your kid.
ESPN has canceled. Well, that's her getting her claws into the state. And now they're talking to him about running for Congress. ESPN has canceled Sports Nation. Like I watched it. Kris Jenner is hinting that he's or she's engaged.
Kris Jenner is
the mama Jenner.
Yeah.
I guess she'd rather spend some other guy's money than hers.
I'd like to negotiate my contract with you, Steve, to eliminate all reference to that family at least one day a week.
The Samsung 9 was unveiled yesterday, the biggest yet, and word is it's going to be the last. A drone racing course has opened up in Vermont. Oh boy, Geekville on steroids. Rumors of a civil war breaking out in Iran continue. Study says eating crickets every day is a way to improve digestive health.
That's why we do it here.
I mix it right up with my shake every morning. That little extra crunch.
Get a jumping good start, baby.
And another study says sleeping more than 10 hours a day makes a person 30% more likely to die prematurely. Today's impossible question: women do this half as much as men. What is it?
Half as much as men. Eat pizza.
Sweat and perspire. The average couple, how much time I got? Okay, the average couple wait 6 months before doing this in front of the other person. No, not going to the bathroom.
Making flatus.
What is that?
Passing gas.
That's right. 76 people injure their eyes when using this every year.
An electric grinder.
Water fountain. According to Reader's Digest, 37% of the people say they will not return to a restaurant because of what?
Because of...
because this was missing in the bathroom. What was it? What is it?
Paper towels.
Soap. All right, coming up on 8 o'clock, we'll check your latest news, sports, and weather. And we shall return.
We had a round of dry weather yesterday. We expect most of the day today to be dry. Later this afternoon and evening in our sand hills, we're going to watch for some showers and storms to pop up. They're going to gradually build to the north throughout the evening and then overnight as well. Our high today in the upper 80s to mid-90s. Tonight is partly to mostly cloudy, scattered showers and thunderstorms, the low in the low 70s, and scattered showers and storms still expected for the day tomorrow. It's partly cloudy with mid-80s to low 90s for the highs. I'm Mike Mays in the North Carolina News Network Weather Center.
Broadcasting from the top of the North Carolina Sand Hills, 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 PM, WEEB, Southern Pines, Pinehurst, Aberdeen.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. As hot, dry conditions persist, wildfires continue to burn from north to south across California. The Holy Fire south of Los Angeles, forcing tens of thousands to flee their homes, including Lake Elsinore resident Annie Spurline.
There's no place to go for me, but, we'll figure something out.
She spoke with KGTV. The Holy Fire has burned 10,000 acres so far, with a state of emergency in effect in Orange and Riverside counties. Authorities say it's a case of arson. A 51-year-old man accused of setting the fire is charged with arson and other crimes, could face life in prison if convicted. A mother and daughter from El Salvador, they were in the U.S. illegally and put on a plane back home, have been ordered returned to the U.S. They're plaintiffs in an ACLU lawsuit, and a federal judge says they weren't supposed to be deported till the case runs its course. The prosecution expected to rest its case today in the tax and bank fraud trial of former Trump campaign chairman Paul Manafort. Some tough talk from the Russian Prime Minister. The Trump administration threatens new sanctions on Russia.
Dmitry Medvedev says if the U.S. introduces sanctions against Russia, as some reports are indicating, Moscow will see this as a declaration of an economic war and will respond accordingly. Medvedev says Russia will retaliate with economic and political means, and if necessary other means, adding American friends should understand that.
Correspondent Charles Deladesma in London. The U.S. sanctions in response to the poisoning of a former Russian spy and his daughter in the U.K. back in March. The two were poisoned with a military-grade Soviet-era nerve agent. Stock futures deep in the red this morning on Wall Street. Right now, Dow futures down 99 points. S&P futures off 13. NASDAQ futures down 40. More on these stories at townhall.com.
When it comes to your pain, many of you might be skeptical, like I was, about ordering Relief Factor. Pat Boone again for this wonderful 100% drug-free supplement designed to help your own body lower or eliminate occasional aches and pains due to aging, exercise, everyday living. I'm not skeptical any longer. The 3-week quick start is now discounted to only $19.95. Why don't you let us see if we can get you out of pain, too, at ReliefFactor.com.
You wouldn't put a square peg in a round hole, so why would you deploy a traditional firewall in a modern decentralized network? Firewalls have new requirements for businesses leveraging SaaS-based applications and public cloud platforms like AWS, Azure, and Google Cloud. We're in the cloud generation now, so your firewalls have to be engineered to fit right in. Reclaim your cloud network. Try a Barracuda Cloud Generation Network or application firewall free at barracuda.com/firewalls.
The biggest business trade group in the UK, the Confederation of British Industry, proposing a post-Brexit immigration system. It's aimed at making sure the country can still get the workers it needs from the EU once it leaves the bloc.
The CBI says it's taken evidence from nearly 130 firms across 18 industry sectors, and it's looked at what those businesses need to work effectively. It's found that this is a range of skills across the board, and it's concluded that the best outcome post-Brexit would be for immigration to continue as seamlessly as possible. So its solution is to allow firms to recruit from the EU, but limiting those who are not studying or without independent means or a job from staying more than 3 months.
That's BBC's Jane Prendergast. China's auto sales shrank last month from a year ago as SUV demand sagged. Sales of sedans, SUVs, minivans down 5.3%. News and analysis at townhall.com. Maryland authorities say a police sergeant due in court next week on drug theft charges has killed himself.
The chief of police in Hagerstown, Maryland, is calling the officer self-inflicted death, another tragedy of the opioid crisis. 45-year-old Sergeant Christopher Barnett was charged in February with stealing prescription opioids from a disabled woman he had questioned during a case. When she noticed her pills were missing, she set up a sting, recording Barnett giving her replacement pills and paying her $35 to stay quiet. When authorities were given that video, the officer was suspended without pay and then hit with criminal charges. I'm Jackie Quinn.
Kansas Secretary of State Chris Kobach says he'll remove himself from the further counting of votes in his tight Republican primary race with Governor Jeff Collier. But he says the move will be largely symbolic, adding that counties do the work of counting up the ballots. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Neck, shoulder, or back pain can be downright debilitating. If you have those issues, you already know that, and you don't need me to tell you about the opioid crisis. There's another, better way. I'm talking about chiropractic, a healing art that's also science. Dr. Sharon Wright of Wright Chiropractic in Seven Lakes invites you to come in for a discussion about how chiropractic works and could work for you. To be sure, there are many of you out there that have reached the proverbial dead end trying to treat and manage your pain.
This is Dr. Wright. I can't guarantee I can fix every problem, but I will tell you honestly whether chiropractic can be of help for your particular issue. Living with pain is not always the only option. Doesn't it make sense to explore every avenue before resigning yourself to the limitations of pain? Call our office today to schedule a consultation and start living again. 673-2225.
Fields Plumbing and Heating has served Moore County since 1948. Actually, the founder, J. Ellis Fields, started in the business as a boy in 1907 with Pinehurst Inc., who provided plumbing and heating services to Pinehurst homes and local hotels. Today, Fields Plumbing and Heating continues to provide superior heating service, plumbing technology, and customer service at the best possible price. When you need help, call the company with the most experience. Fields Plumbing and Heating, 910-949-3232. 949-3232.
What keeps your house toasty warm, cooks your food and heats your water, and gives you a great excuse to hang out in front of your fireplace? Propane gas brought to you by McNeil Oil and Propane of Aberdeen. McNeil Oil and Propane can handle all of your propane or heating oil needs. Call them at 944-2329 and have them come out to fill your own tank, or they can provide you with a new one. When you need propane or heating oil, call McNeil Oil and Propane today at 944-2329. That's 944-2329.
Hello, this is Chris Ennis, Service Manager at Pinehurst Toyota Hyundai. We want to thank all of our loyal customers for entrusting us with the care and maintenance of their vehicles over the years. But did you know we also service Lexus, saving you a trip to Raleigh or Charlotte? In fact, our factory-trained and certified ASE technicians can service any type of vehicle. Your complete satisfaction is our #1 goal, so please consider Pinehurst Toyota Hyundai for all your vehicle service needs. We are open Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. and open on Saturday from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. We can be reached at 910-692-2424. We look forward to seeing you.
MCN News. I'm Mike Riley. A Wake Forest University assistant basketball coach accused of punching and killing a New York City tourist surrendered to police on Thursday. Jamil Jones of Cartersville was charged Thursday with misdemeanor assault. Josh Gillian is Sander Sabo's boss and tells WSOC News.
Good guy. Always positive attitude, smile, trying to help out any way he can with our business. very interested in all the people in our business. Just like a really good person.
A D.C. District Court judge threatened to hold Attorney General Jeff Sessions in contempt of court after he learned a woman and daughter trying to win asylum in the U.S. were put on a plane back to El Salvador. The judge ordered the plane to be turned around and returned to Houston. Correspondent Maria Villarreal has more from Texas.
The plane landed in El Salvador. People got off. They did not, this mother and child, and they were brought back to the United States. Our sources say that they were brought back to the Houston area and were going to be driven back to the ICE detention facility here in Dilley.
The Brunswick County Sheriff's Office will continue policing Southport while an audit of the city's police department takes place. The decision came after Police Chief Gary Smith and Lieutenant Michael Christian Simons were suspended following their arrests on charges of conspiracy to obtain property by false pretenses and other charges. City Manager Bruce Oakley tells WECT News.
I requested the board tonight to hire a firm to do an internal investigation/audit of the police department to see what other issues there may be.
8 people are safe this morning thanks to a U.S. Coast Guard crew that saved them from a sinking boat. Helicopter and boat crews helped all 8 people get back to shore at Hatteras Inlet. Poor contract management and too much warehouse space cost the state nearly $14 million over 13 years. That according to a state audit of the Alcohol Beverage Control Commission. You're listening to NCN News.
Hey football fans, the wait is over. The 2018 ACC Football Preview Magazine is out on newsstands right now. Get your football fix before the season kicks off with predictions from the experts, recruiting news, and rankings of the best ACC players and teams. No other magazine dedicates 10 pages to each ACC school, each jam-packed with stats and information. Want a copy shipped to you? Order your copy today by going to accsports.com and clicking on the Football Preview banner.
Darlington Raceway. This is tradition.
The white flag flies for Bobby Allison.
This is iconic.
Petty appears to be smoking, and Gale now is pulling away.
This is legendary.
Truex is at the wall, and it's Hamlin going to the lead.
Come celebrate 7 decades of NASCAR at Darlington Raceway this Labor Day weekend. Purchase your tickets today by calling 866-459-RACE or visit darlingtonraceway.com.
South Carolina is just right.
More than 20,000 people have been chased from their homes as the smoke and flame from the holy fire continues to rage in Southern California. It's already burned 10,000 acres in Orange and Riverside counties. CBS News correspondent Jonathan Vigliotti is on the front lines in Lake Elsinore.
Lake Elsinore Mayor Natasha Johnson is urging residents who have stayed behind to evacuate now.
Nothing is worth it. Grab your things, grab your family, grab your valuables, and move, and everything else is replaceable, but your life is not.
Forrest Clark, the man who allegedly started this fire, has been charged with arson. He will appear in court later today. If found guilty, he could face life in prison. As for this blaze, the fire chief says it could take several weeks before it's put out.
A piece of heavy equipment overturned on a worker at a construction site in southeastern Wake County on Thursday, killing her. The accident occurred at about 11:30 on Thursday morning. An investigation by the state has begun on the death. A third case of a deadly disease that's spread by mosquitoes has popped up in eastern North Carolina. The Carteret County Health Department is warning about a case of equine encephalitis that killed a horse in the county. No human cases have been reported yet, but 2 horses have died in Onslow County this month from the same disease. It seems that postnatal depression may not necessarily be a gender thing. CBS's Larry Miller explained.
Recent studies find new dads can get the baby blues too, that they can experience similar rates of depression to mothers after a birth of a child. A Swedish study of new fathers found more than a quarter showed significant levels of depression, driving anxiety in fathers, gender role conflict, lack of sleep, time away from work, and fear of not being a good parent. There are calls in both the U.S. and the U.K. for new fathers to be screened for mental health problems. Larry Miller, CBS News, London.
Mike Rayleigh, NCN News.
Later this afternoon, we're going to be on the lookout for a few showers and storms to develop in the Sandhills. Otherwise, we'll have partly cloudy skies today. It's hot with upper 80s to mid-90s, those mid-90s toward Lumberton and also to the Fayetteville area. Now, as the evening goes on, scattered showers and thunderstorms are likely to build to the north and northeast. Overnight tonight, scattered storms, the low in the low 70s, and still scattered showers and storms tomorrow. It's partly cloudy with mid-80s to low 90s. I'm Mike Mays in the North Carolina News Network Weather Center.
Right now, here in the Sand Hills, sunny 75 degrees, humidity 94%, dew point up another notch to 73, pressures 2997, winds calm, visibility 10 statute miles. It's 8:12. Let's take a look at your Sand Hills news for this Friday morning. With the first sale of voter-approved bonds to pay for a new Aberdeen Elementary School in the books, more county leaders are renewing their push for a sales tax increase to help pay off the new debt. County commissioners made it official this week, adopting a resolution to put a referendum on the November general election ballot for a quarter-cent increase in the local option sales tax. They had agreed last month to take another shot at winning voter approval for the increase after a similar measure failed by 428 votes in March of 2016. If approved, the tax would amount to an extra 25 cents on a $100 purchase. Food, medicine, and vehicle fuels would not be subject to the sales tax. Commissioners also unanimously adopted a second resolution declaring that all the money from the sales tax increase, estimated to be between $2.5 and $3.1 million annually, will be used solely for school construction purposes. Relief is on the way for residents of Eastwood who have endured wells running dry and poor water quality for years. The U.S. Department of Agricultural and Rural Development has agreed to provide the county through its Eastmore Water District with a $1.39 million low-interest loan and a $1.1 million grant to serve up to 111 homes in the community west of Pennsylvania, Pinehurst, that straddles NC 73. The key was now to be for residents to sign up for county water. The county will reduce the tap fee from $1,950 to $250 for Eastwood residents. That's your latest Sand Hills news this morning, but stand by. Here comes your latest in sports. Right here on Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. It is 7:16.
NCN Sports, I'm Josh Zach. Kelvin Benjamin's feud with his former teammate, Panthers quarterback Cam Newton, continued yesterday before and during Carolina's preseason 28-23 win against Benjamin's Bills in Buffalo. Newton sought out his former teammate in early warm-ups at New Era Field. After Benjamin had taken a verbal shot at him last week, he ripped Newton's accuracy and as a passer during a Q&A with The Athletic. They each played roles in touchdowns in the first quarter on the first-team offense. As for the overall takeaways from last night's exhibition, Ron Rivera talked about those after the game.
Offensively, we missed a couple throws where Cam was a little jacked up, and he threw a couple high balls that didn't normally hits. He had hit them all year in training camp, and he missed them. But the second series, really what we were looking for. I thought it was a good mix of run and pass. And again, we converted when we had to, so that was huge.
In other NFL news, the first two picks of this year's NFL Draft looked pretty good in their professional debuts at the Meadowlands. First overall pick Baker Mayfield was 11 of 20 for 212 yards and 2 touchdowns as he helped the Browns beat the Giants 20-10. Giants running back and second overall pick Saquon Barkley took a handoff from Eli Manning on the opening play from scrimmage and turned no apparent hole into a 39-yard scamper down the sideline. The Penn State running back finished with 43 yards on 5 carries. North Carolina is not adjusting to the amount of practice reps just yet for the 13 players that are facing suspensions for selling team-issued shoes. Coach Larry Fedora yesterday said the early goal in their preseason camp is getting reps to everyone as the team focuses on installing their basic schemes.
After the first scrimmage, then we go back and evaluate the scrimmage, see where everybody is, and then we start adjusting reps for everybody, one way or the other.
Everybody includes starting quarterback Chaz Surratt and starting defensive end Malik Carney. They are two of the players that are suspended. Surratt will miss 4 games. This is NCN Sports.
This Fraud Watch Alert is brought to you by AARP North Carolina. Recently, sham veterans charities are bilking patriotic donors out of millions of dollars. North Carolina fraud fighters urge you to donate wisely. Before you give, visit ncsos.gov to make sure a charity that claims to support veterans and military families is licensed and legitimate. Learn more about charity scams and other cons by signing up for free AARP Watchdog Alerts at aarp.org/NC Protect.
Sometimes the simplest things can make the biggest difference. An extra pair of hands, a smile, or a shoulder. At North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance, we feel the same about home and auto coverage, affordable rates, trusted service, and local agents. After all, making one simple difference in your life helps you make a big difference in another's. Farm Bureau Insurance. Helping you is what we do best.
Gary Woodland started slowly before taking the first-round lead at the PGA Championship at St. Louis. He fired a 6-under 64. That gives him a one-stroke lead over Ricky Fowler. Woodland was one over before making a birdie at the par 5 8th. Tiger Woods is 6 off the pace after he shot an even par 70. A Wake Forest assistant basketball coach is accused of throwing a punch that led to the death of a man in Queens, New York. It happened Sunday night. Sandor Szabo was knocking on the windows of cars Sunday morning looking for his Uber driver when he tapped on the window of 35-year-old Jameel Jones's SUV. Jones got out, punched him. Szabo fell back, smashed his head on the sidewalk. He died at a hospital 2 days later. The Deacs assistant coach turned himself in last night on a misdemeanor assault charge. He's due back in court in October. Josh Zach, NCN Sports.
Bureaucrats. I can't help it. I just don't like them. Our government's loaded with people who do not understand that our money needs to be spent wisely, that we worked hard for that money. They seem to think the answer to everything is spend more money. Yep, it's easy when it's not their money. Hello, I'm John Zumwalt, and one of the main reasons I'm supporting Steve Adams for sheriff is because I'm glad to see a candidate who understands how to run a major corporation. You see, the sheriff's office has an annual budget of $20 million, and still they want more. Can anyone tell me the amount of money that is finally enough? Steve Adams can. Steve's pledging that not only will he not ask for more money, but that he'll save us millions, and he has a plan to do so. His plan is not a pie in the sky. Steve has run businesses with that kind of budget before. His ideas are easy to get to by going to his website. And if that isn't enough for you, feel free to call him at the radio station, or better yet, go by and see him. There will be highly trained deputies surrounding Steve, including the best chief deputy he can find. Law enforcement will be maximized by finally having the budget to implement so many of the things that are lacking now, like a crime lab, for example. I just don't believe that the answer is always, give us a bigger budget, give us more money, because we need to hire more people or buy more equipment. Finally, a candidate who knows how much is enough and knows that we've reached it. Steve Adams for sheriff.
Find out about Steve's plan at adamsforsheriff.com. That's adamsforsheriff.com. Paid for by Adams for Sheriff.
Serving more people, more places, 24/7. If your AC breaks down, we'll restore your indoor heaven. Installation or repair, one call will be there. It's your family, don't delay. Comfort's just a call away. We're Comfort Services. Comfort Services.
You've heard the comment, save your energy. Well, Comfort Services can save your energy bill and make your home more comfortable. Specializing in insulation, HVAC, and comprehensive air quality services. Locally owned since 2003, Comfort Services is nationally certified and a Carrier Energy Expert dealer with highly qualified technicians. Go to ComfortServicesInc.com or call 910-695-2665 on Highway 5 next to Habitat in Aberdeen. 910-695-2665.
Comfort's just a call away. Comfort Services.
This is Hand On Golf for another golf tip brought to you by Golf Augusta. Are you a digger or a scooper? Stay tuned and I'll offer help for those scoopers.
Do you go through a lot of gloves during hot weather? We suggest that you try the best summer glove for all, the FootJoy All-Weather Glove. Also for hot weather, we have a variety of moisture-wicking shirts by Under Armour FootJoy at special pricings. Ever wanted to play a British Open course? Now you can. Royal Troon is one of our newest TrackMan courses. Please avoid the bunkers as you might have to exit backwards. Have fun, play better golf. Golf Augusta is on U.S. Highway 1 in Southern Pines.
If you very seldom take a divot, you are a scooper. Your club path is too in, too out, and shallow. Try opening your setup by lining up your feet, hips, and shoulders left of your target and swinging your arms more up in the sky and down to the ground. Start with a pitching wedge and take small divots. Compressing the club face into the ball, into the ground, creates spin and ball speed, both requirements for stopping the ball on quick greens. Stay tuned for more golf tips. Unleash your potential with Golf Augusta's TrackMan Launchpad. Real golf, real distance.
Most people dread going to the dentist, but not at Sandhills Weekend Dental. Here's Michael from Whispering Pines.
I met Dr. Terry and Sam's about 9 months ago when I had an emergency. Prior to that, which makes this amazing, is I haven't been to the dentist in 12 years. I had some really bad experiences when I was growing up as a young boy, but when I went in there, I clearly was nervous. I had a lot of fear, but Dr. Sam's and her staff put me at ease, took me in, reviewed what we thought we had going on there, and just talked to me in a way that I felt like she really wasn't going to hurt me, which was a big fear that I had for the last 12 years. And I'm really happy to tell everyone I can brush and floss, and I can eat, kiss, and smile better.
Sandhills Weekend Dental on Highway 211 just past Harris Teeter. Open Wednesday through Friday 9 to 4 and Saturday 9 to 2. Call for an appointment at 910-687-4423. 687-4423.
Hello, I'm John Zumwalt, and you're in the Zumwalt Zone. I remember going through Army basic training in 1968. I was a kid, and I was as gung-ho as I could be, and I loved bayonet training. And if that sounds crazy to you, I'll say again, I was a kid. I remember the drill sergeant saying to us, men, if your bayonet gets stuck in the rib, pull the trigger, and the bullet discharging will allow you to pull the bayonet out. We were all yelling, excited to get this news. Now all I can think of is, what? I have a bullet? Why am I bayonet fighting? You see things differently when you're young. Before you get any experience in this world, you believe everything you're told by people who you should be able to believe. Turns out they don't always tell the truth. I also remember the drill sergeant telling us that in the event of a nuclear explosion, we should face away from it and lay on our rifle so the rifle wouldn't melt. What? So the rifle wouldn't melt? What about me? What's that pile of goo? Oh, that's Zumwalt. Look how nice his rifle looks. I guess that's why young men fight our wars. First, us old guys are no longer capable. Second, we wouldn't buy into a lot of the foolishness that they teach us. My hope is that people will not just believe everything they read or hear from our politicians. No politician is going to give you the complete story. They will always slant it a bit their way. Tell you what, you got to do a little more research when they tell you something. That's what I try to do in the Zumwalt Zone.
We had a round of dry weather yesterday. We expect most of the day today to be dry. Later this afternoon and evening in our Sandhills, we're going to watch for some showers and storms to pop up. They're going to gradually build to the north throughout the evening and then overnight as well. Our high today in the upper 80s to mid-90s. Tonight is partly to mostly cloudy, scattered showers and thunderstorms, the low in the low 70s, and scattered showers and storms still expected for the day tomorrow. It's partly cloudy with mid-80s to low 90s for the highs. I'm Mike Mays in the North Carolina News Network Weather Center.
And now, the Sandhills #1 morning show. Mornings with the leader man. Here on Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. And heard and seen around the world at talk973.com.
The best part of waking up is waking up with us. Here we go! Open your freaking ears.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning.
Let's have a tune. I'm sick of this silence. Friday.
Friday?
Yeah, it's Friday.
Last day of the week.
Friday.
Who enjoys the weekend? Are you serious right now?
Well, it's the weekend. You ready for it? Let's do this. Showtime.
Hand me down a walking cane. Hand me down my hat. Hurry now and don't be late, 'cause we ain't got time to chat. You and me, we're going out, catch a late sound. Guaranteed to blow your mind so high you won't come down. Hey, y'all, prepare yourself for the rubber band. Man, you'll never
Talk 97.3 FM, 990 AM WEEB. Welcome back to the most listened to program in all of the Sand Hills. It is time once again for Mornings with the Leader Man. I am Steve Leader Adams.
And I'm Matt Horsey, the Leader Man's exuberant sidekick. Good morning.
Don't forget, of course, we are being heard and seen around the world on the live video stream. That's available to you at talk973.com. Top middle of the page is the link that will get you there. If you're on a mobile device, well, you can get there also with your YouTube app. Just put Mornings with the Leader Man into the search, Leader Man, all one word. If you're just needing our crystal clear digital audio stream, well, you can get there with that simply by using your TuneIn or iTunes platform, or many other platforms work. Put WEEB in the search, or as always, you can get it off of our website. Upper right-hand corner is the icon that says Listen Live at every web page. Just tap on that one time and you're listening that quick. Some of those listening online this morning, we got Ottawa, Canada here, Elmore, Alabama. Let's see, Canton, North Carolina, Goleta, California, Herndon, Virginia, Albuquerque, Mexico, Toronto's online, Centerville, let's see, foreign country I can't pronounce, Burkina Faso.
Wow.
Someplace there.
That is in Africa, I believe.
Moose Lake, Manitoba, Canada. Robbins is online. St. John, Washington. Just to name a few of the thousands tuned in this morning. So, welcome to all of you. I see Africa. It's kind of in the northwest part of the continent.
Yeah.
All right. Weather for us today here in the Sand Hills area. Let's see here. Partly cloudy, scattered thunderstorms, possible 74 for, that's tonight. High of 91, heat index 96 tonight, same thing, low of 74. Tomorrow, a little muggier too. It's going to be 89 for a high, heat index 95, same for Sunday. Monday, more of the same, but only a high of 86. And Tuesday, Wednesday, we'll get a little break into dew points. At least that's what the models show right now. Right now, around the Sand Hills, winds are calm, visibility 10 statute miles, pressure is 29.97, dew point 73, and rising, humidity 94%. 75 is sunny here at Talk 97.3 FM and 990 AM WEEB and 104.1 FM. Yeah, if I can get, remember the whole pattern here. Been on here, since July 18th with 104.1. It's not quite a month. All right, 8:31 past the hour. A couple of reminders that, of course, I'll be at the Live After 5, passing out campaign material this afternoon, so hopefully we'll get to meet if you come there.
I'll be there heckling you.
And you can take my card. Is a little 6x8 card I pass out that has all the bullet points of the campaign on there, and hopefully you'll take a look at it between now and November and give me consideration. And also, don't forget, we have I'll have a pack of bumper stickers too. You ask for that, and I'll give you one. These suckers are like $5 a piece, so they're the types that will come off the car. We pay for that. So you can always stick it on your window. You know it will come off because you can scrape it off if necessary. But it should come off the car also without damage. But I didn't build the car, so I can't say for sure. But I would trust it myself. But yeah, just putting it on there is going to increase the, appreciate the value of the car by at least 20%. In some cases, 25%. So that in itself is worth it. Plus, we need to get the word out that the campaign does exist. It is there, and you're supporting it. And as more and more people start displaying these, it builds up momentum that we need. So if you want a bumper sticker, there's several ways you can get one. Just come by the studio and pick one up. anytime during business hours, or you can email me, Steve at weeb990.com, or better yet, Steve at adamsforsheriff.com. That will get you there too. And just say, send me a bumper sticker too, and give me an address, and I'll put it in the mail to you. Or you can text me. My text number is 690-2946. Your address, 690-2946, and I'll send you a bumper sticker. And I would appreciate it. And we had a nice gentleman come by yesterday. I haven't talked to him yet. I'm going to call him back here shortly. He's got a lot of properties that he rents, so a lot of potential billboard space there that we'll talk about. So anyway, any way you can help out is always a great help, because no one man can do a whole campaign and do it correctly. I'm getting help from all sorts of places that is invaluable to me, because I'm doing this to better the county, to save it. We just got to go down a different road. I mean, it's about, politicians just keep doing the same thing over and over again, and they hear the problem, and they finally concede, yes, it's a problem we have to address, and yes, we'll spend this amount of money on it, and guess what? You get to pick up the tab. They don't even consider alternatives to funding the issues of the money. The money is always the issue, and they always solve every problem the same way. Spend more money and get it from you. That's the problem. My Republican opponent has already said that the budget's not high enough, and the first thing he wants is 7 more deputies. Well, voila, there's $1 million more a year out of your pocket. And then he says, well, that's what we have to keep you safe. No, we don't. We got more than enough money. I'm going to get it all back for you if you'll just give me a chance. But this is the new road that we need to start exploring. You own a lot of great assets, meaning the county. And we need to utilize them so that we can get our money back. We don't have to spend more, and there's no sin in getting it back. Right?
I agree. Absolutely. And there's no end to the thing. The thing I love the most is when something doesn't work out right and they say we need more. We could have done better if we just had more.
Yeah.
Rather than maybe we shouldn't have been doing this in the first place.
Or get what you have working more efficiently. And target exactly what you're doing versus just go out there and patrol.
And I know it's a pain in the keister, but that's the kind of stuff, if you actually go to Steve's website and take a look at some of his plans, that's the kind of stuff that you're going to understand where he's planning on using that underutilized stuff to save the taxpayer money. Still being paid for essentially by taxpayers, a lot of it, but it's going to be paid for anyway by federal taxpayers or whatever. And
we
why
paid
not bring it here?
We've paid a federal bill. There's no doubt. There's no arguing that. But they're going to spend it there or here. I'm going to get them to spend it here.
Yeah, bring it right back.
Yeah, give it back to us. Since our state legislature won't do it. But it's just like the schools. I went there and I told them exactly how they could do these schools, and it wouldn't cost you a dime. Not one copper penny, because you already own the assets to be able to produce the income to pay for it. And it just falls on deaf ears because, oh, we've never done it like that. Well, maybe you should. But bureaucrats are incapable. They are just totally incapable of thinking that way. It must be done the way it's always been done in the past, which costs you money. Wouldn't you like to get to schools for no added cost to your tax bill? I would. And there's a way to do it. And if I'm elected sheriff, then I got a better bully pulpit to try to convince people that this is the way to go. and to utilize the old jail that's sitting there and let it generate the revenue to pay for new schools. And you don't have to build anything or do anything. There are companies that will come in and lease it all out from you. And they'll spend all the money running it. Not yours. They will. It's almost a no-risk situation. You have nothing to lose, everything to gain. But, well, that would be extra work for our staff. And we're overworked now. We're worked to the max. We just don't have time to look after that. Oh, gee, saving the taxpayer, say $20 million a year just isn't worth looking at, huh? I don't get it. I just do not get it. But that's the mindset of a bureaucrat, and getting past that is something else. And the only way to get past it is put somebody in that's not in that mindset. And that's where I come in. And you look at, say, First Health. First Health is run by a man named Dave Kolarski, and he's the CEO, and he does a good job. And you walk in, you got this atmosphere of getting well presented to you, from the operating room to the daycare. It's all there in one spot to the fitness, getting you better. In one spot, and it's all run by a guy who doesn't have a doctorate degree. He has a management mindset of how to get it done without raping you. Now, you might feel raped with doctor prices, but
at least he doesn't have a doctorate in medicine.
Yeah, he comes from pharmaceutical sales. But he's the right guy in the job, and that's what you need as sheriff. We can get the law enforcement handled with the chief deputy and go down different avenues, and you need a different perspective there, because we do so much stupid stuff, like going out there and running radar on US 1. Well, that's the highway patrol area, and you're sitting there ticketing our guests who come to play golf. Now, we expect people to obey our laws, but we won't let the highway patrol be highway patrol. We're going to go after the real root cause of 90% of all our problems, and that's drugs. We're going after the traffickers and the dealers. We're going to get them to trial within 3 months with our own crime lab, and get them the hell out of our jail system and off of our nickel. Right now, they're sitting there for 3 years, gaming the system, and just wait it out. So, go to the website, adamsforsheriff.com. You'll see what I'm talking about. But this is the new way to do it. You can keep going down the same old road. You got a couple of candidates that can get you there. Or you can try something different that will actually get out of your hip pocket. Paid for by Adams for Sheriff. All right. So order the bumper sticker and come up to me live after 5. I'll have on a either a black or red shirt that has the Adams for Sheriff logo on it.
Yeah, that shirt's it's like a dark red. It's not a maroon. It's a red, but it's almost
between red and maroon. Yeah. Burgundy. I guess that's the color.
All right.
Wouldn't you?
I'm going to start calling you Ron Burgundy.
I think that's what they listed it as when I got it.
Yeah, it could be burgundy.
All right. We can get rid of that. Let's move on to rim shots this morning. See how these play out for us. I said rim shots. Nerdly, please. Thank you. Okie dokie. David Schwimmer is going to join the cast of Will and Grace. Good news for Schwimmer. Bad news for the L.A. Target manager, who now has to hire a new stock clerk. But Angelina Jolie wants the divorce to be finalized between her and Brad. That way she can focus on her new career as an anatomy skeleton. Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie are still feuding over child support issues. Meanwhile, Jennifer Aniston is having a great week. The next season of House of Cards will drop in November. Ironically, the thought of that show without Kevin Spacey, well, it just doesn't grab me, CBS is making a reality show called Love Island, in which contestants have to pair up to avoid being eliminated. The winner, what is this, like musical chairs? The winners will get a giant trophy and a huge cash prize and incurable herpes. Yeah, the women there could eliminate somebody by pairing up in threes with guys, right?
Got me.
That way they get rid of the girl competition. Lindsay Lohan says women look weak when they share their Me Too stories, as opposed to Lindsay, who looks weak when she's completely out of cocaine. And her nose goes like this. She always sounds like she's got a cold. That's from the coke effect. Kim Kardashian posted an Instagram video of herself jumping on a trampoline in a bikini. So, in your face, everyone who says the internet has become a mind-numbing wasteland. A cookbook based on the Golden Girls is out. It's perfect for anyone who wants 100 recipes for broth. Omarosa's new book is called Unhinged. It's expected to be unbought. And fans were spotted swarming O.J. Simpson for selfies in Las Vegas. Can you blame them? He does have that killer smile, doesn't he? Seattle has received more than $10 million from its tax on sugary drinks in 6 months since the measure has been imposed. Imagine how much they'd make if they imposed the man bun tax.
The man bun tax?
Yeah. Don't you think anybody tortures us with having to look at a man bun should be taxed?
No.
I do.
I like my man bun.
I think every man who wears shorts should be taxed.
I think I have very nice buns.
We're talking about two different buns.
Oh.
See how he...
I was just getting a little cheeky with you, Dave.
He's so quick to talk about his buns.
That's right.
It makes you wonder sometime about the boy. I swear it does. Okay. A Seattle Space Needle. The needle there added a glass floor, but you can't see the rest of Seattle because of the thick cloud of weed smoke below. The U.S. is facing a lizard infestation. Experts call it an ecological disaster. Geico calls it a marketing opportunity.
Lizard infestation.
Lizard. Like we don't want less bugs? I don't know. That sounds good to me. Yesterday was Book Lovers Day, except in Alabama, where it was Book Loathers Day.
Oh, written by a Northeasterner.
I guess. Yeah, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana. Not on my places to visit. Just reeking with humidity. Golly.
No worse than here, though.
Yeah, worse. Worse.
Depends on the day.
Florida, not on my list. Anywhere south of here, forget it. Can't handle it. Why are all the nice places saturated with liberals? Well, I could, visit and enjoy it, but to live there and be charged a view tax, just can't handle it. Just doesn't fit my life that way. Oh, you have a view of the ocean. We have a tax for that.
Well, you want to tax man buns.
Well, I'm going to put a curtain over the window, so there, I don't have a view anymore. Doesn't matter. You have a potential view. It must be taxed. That's the dumbest tax in America, just about. I'm sure there's some dumber, but I haven't heard them yet. All right, yeah, I know. All right, we'll go chase the bad guys right quick.
Look at you, my pretty, and your little dog, too.
What
we've got here is failure to communicate.
Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? When you were 8 and you had bad treats, you go to school and learn to...
All right, my friends, it's time once again to draw in that big breath of air and let our big hairy chest stick out as we strut across the floor in the style of the one and only Duke, John Wayne. Head over to our closet doors, open them up, look at all 30 of our Liberty safes, and today we're going to go to safe number 5. Matt, you want to describe this beautiful safe?
Steve, this is a Franklin model FR35. It is it's a beautiful safe, and it can hold up to 35 guns.
All right, we'll open this bad boy up. Let Matt reach in and pick out our weapon of choice today.
All right, let's go with an EE or an EAA Windicator revolver chambered in .38 special.
We'll throw that into the holster, pin on our badge, grab 5 cans of Super Whoop Ass as we head out the door now in relentless pursuit. Stupid criminal news. Stupid criminal news number 1, Japanese hibachi restaurants are exciting enough as it is. You know, with all the utensils going ding, 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 as they flip that shrimp into your mouth. I mean, have you seen it when they cut up an onion, pour oil inside, and turn it into a volcano? So literally the most exciting thing happening in the average suburb on any given night. There's a 24-year-old guy named James Jordan in Clearwater, Florida. He was at a hibachi grill on Sunday night when apparently the mood struck.
That was Michael Jordan's father's name, James.
Well, it seems as though some people just have to become part of the show. They just cannot let somebody else have the highlight of the evening. They have to show that they have a highlight too. So James here... he got up, stripped down. According to the police report, he started, quote, dancing erotically in front of a woman. Is that what they call a hibachi dance?
Maybe there was some sake involved.
When her husband told him to go away, he started yelling and threatening to fight him.
When her husband told him to go away. This wasn't even his date. Good Lord.
The police came. He was arrested for disorderly conduct, you think? Stupid criminal news number 2. An unidentified guy, I'm sorry, this is like something a 5-year-old might do if they were trying to escape from kindergarten. An unidentified guy in North Platte, Nebraska, flipped his car early Wednesday morning and fled the scene. He had someone pick him up, then called 911 and said he didn't want to talk to the police. He even threatened to attack them if they tried to find him. But they tracked him down anyway, and they pulled him over. And that's when the guy jumped out of the car. And this is where the story really gets gross, so put your hands over your ears, boys and girls. He picked up a frog and used it as a hostage. Yes.
Jumping Jehoshaphat.
Let me go, or the frog gets it. He wouldn't stop through commands and started thrashing, started throwing trash at the cops. So, in order to save that frog, they had to tase him and get him to the ground and in custody.
They didn't want the frog to croak.
It's not clear what kind of charges he's facing. Frog kidnapping and all. But they think drugs and alcohol could have been a factor. No. Joe, you think? Maybe a little. The good news is the frog was not hurt and was returned to his community.
To his community.
Only to be eaten an hour later by a copperhead.
A larger frog.
Poison and Slow Death Style.
Beautiful nature.
Yeah. And that, my friends, is the stupid criminal news for this Friday. Okay. 8:53, 53 past the hour. All right, Matt's over here bugging me. Please play my favorite part of the program, Steve.
Get on with it, Steve.
Here we go.
And now it's time for random
facts.
1, 2, 3, 4.
All righty, our random fact for today, and maybe a spare if you're good. The largest cast iron statue in the world is a statue of a Vulcan, the Rome god of life, in Birmingham, Alabama. It was made from a 1904 World's Fair in St. Louis, and it weighs 100,000 pounds. That's 50,000 tons. That's pretty heavy. The reason humans are the only animals with a chin is cooking.
100,000 pounds, isn't that 50 tons?
That'd be 50,000 tons. Right?
I think it's 50 tons.
That's right. Be 50 tons. My bad. This early, moving zeros around. You know how it is.
I know how it is. I'm terrible at math.
And I'm good at it, believe it or not. The reason humans are the only animals with a chin is cooking. We figured out to cook food to make it soft, so we evolved away from big teeth and strong jaws and developed chins. The TSA makes almost $1 million a year just from loose change people leave behind at security. I think that ought to be donated to me, don't you?
No. I think it should be donated to me.
No, I claimed it first. A cup of maple syrup has more calcium than a cup of milk, although it would be awfully hard to drink a cup of syrup. I don't know. The pancakes goes down pretty easy.
Yeah, next time my sister-in-law gets on me about the amount of syrup I'm using, I'm going to put it right back on her.
Give me my random facts music some more. We're not through yet here. Thank you. The AC/DC logo was based on the letters in the first book ever printed, the Gutenberg Bible. And the guy who created it was paid a one-time fee, never got any royalties, and also did the logos for Pepsi and Time Magazine.
So we're talking about the band AC/DC?
Yeah.
Okay. I like AC/DC.
Well, you would. It's the long-hair hippie type band. And you like long-hair hippie type bands. So there you go. And that's your random fact for today. Okay.
That hippie is a very timely reference. You're truly hip with the youth.
Let's see. I don't get this one, but here we go. There were a few decades where beards were trendy, but they've been back, well, for over 10 years now, and they don't look like they're going anywhere soon, and it's killing the razor industry. According to the latest studies, the number of times men shave a month has gone from 3.7 times to 3.2 times over the last decade. I shave every day.
Well, that's because you're better than the rest of us, Steve.
That doesn't sound like a lot, but across hundreds of millions of people, it's really significant. And because of that, razor sales just keep falling. And that's why they've gotten more reasonable in their price. And in the past year, they've dropped 5%, and the industry believes its best chance for bouncing back is just trying to survive until the beard trend goes away. I thought the 5 o'clock shadow look was going away.
Well, that's different than the beard trend.
I mean, what woman wants to rub up against all that scruff?
Manly.
Well, you wouldn't
know anything about it.
You'd be manly, not have to cut a hole for their face. So it goes for this Friday. Have yourself a great, safe weekend. We'll see you live after 5 this afternoon. Until then, be sure to support all the mom-and-pop business this year on our airways, because they are the backbone of our economy here in Moore County. Money stays here, rolls over, and creates jobs. And don't forget, millions of Americans have fought and they have died to give and protect freedoms that you get to enjoy today. Live today worthy of their and their families' sacrifice. Don't forget, portions of this program were paid for by Adams Sheriff. I'm Steve Leader Adams, the Leader Man, and Nick and Colt the Dog. We'll all see you this afternoon at 2 at the Dog Park.
I'm Matt Horsley. H.L. Mencken said, I believe that all government is evil and that trying to improve it is largely a waste of time, although in the case of the sheriff's office, that's a possibility. All right, I added the last part. Stay tuned for Chris Plant. Rush Limbaugh is at noon. Sean Hannity's at 3, and Mark Levin is at 6. Like us and join the conversation at facebook.com/WEEB990.
Come back. You'd better be